When you're designing for web browsers or high DPI screens, fractional pixels can cause your content to appear a bit distorted or fuzzy, yet they're pretty unavoidable when you start to resize groups of objects or apply masks to images. In the latest release of Adobe XD, we've tackled the fractional pixel issue once and for all, so you can go back to the business of designing at the speed of thought. Let's begin by talking a little bit about how fractional pixels can occur. I have some design elements here on the canvas that were created in an earlier version of Adobe XD. And if I click into some of those objects, let's say the image here that's in a mask, the object is actually not on a fractional pixel. It's got an absolute value here of 136 by 107. But when I took the group of items, so the image along with the icon and the text below it, and I grouped it together and resized the group, I ended up with the object landing at an X and Y location that's on a fraction. So I've got 34.3 and 348.1. If I hit escape, I can see actually the overall size of the group also has a fraction on it. If I were to come in and create this group again in the latest version of Adobe XD, all of the elements will always hit a whole pixel, and if I come in and resize the group, they'll also hit a whole pixel. We do that by rounding up any of the fractional pixels to the closest whole pixel size. If you want to go back to old content that you do have, you can come into those individual elements, and in the Properties Inspector, make sure they're set at whole values. So I'll come in and remove the fractions here on the side. And now as I work with the overall group set, if I were to resize it, it's going to stick to that whole pixel behavior. Some exceptions to this rule have to do with things like a Boolean group. So let's say this group of objects that are here. The overall Boolean object is going to be on the whole pixel, but if I were to click into individual items within it, they may be fractional. The same is true for paths or vector drawings that I might have. We don't necessarily want to control some of the really fine detail for that vector content, so that will remain with fractional values. So once again, if you have content you've created before XD22, those fractional values will be preserved, whether it's the size of the object or its X and Y location. We didn't want to make changes automatically that could slightly disturb any of the work you've already done. If you went ahead and reset any of those objects to a whole pixel in the latest version of XD, then transform it by, say, resizing it as part of a group, it's going to stay on the whole pixel value going forward. So if fuzzy fractional pixels have gotten you down in the past, you can relax going forward with the latest version of Adobe XD.